So it's 5:35 on a Monday evening.
तो क्या नाचो मैं?
So
We're gonna
start?
speak about Gaami.
Yeah, starring Vishwak Sen and Vishwak
Vishwak
Sen
Sen
and directed by Vidyadhar Kagita.
what genre would you like to put that film in?
I have a really bad thing to say, but I won't. But yeah, it's a adventure drama.
Adventure drama, yeah. Science fiction?
Not really.
Not? Mystery thriller?
It's a sad thriller. A sad attempt at a thriller.
So let's go from the start. Let's roll it from the start.
So let's talk about the plot, so that whoever like all the 10 people who are watching, they'll understand like the context.
So
of
you want to spoil it completely या फिर ऊपर ऊपर से touch करते
I'll
हैं?
just brush it like
Okay.
थोड़ा. Movie starts off like with our protagonist who has a certain, what do you call it, disease?
Disease, yeah. Hapnophobia or something, which
Yeah,
is like
so
fear of touch.
Spoil it. You just spoiled it.
अरे but that's in the trailer as
Okay,
well. तो
okay,
trailer
okay.
में है तो फिर what's the issue?
So yeah, so he has a very rare disease, and the whole movie is just about how he wants to know like why he got that disease and how can he get away from like
Yeah.
how can he cure his
cure
disease?
himself? And at the same time, he's a Aghori, so it's a journey of a Aghori person.
So the whole point of the movie was to explore the emotional side of an Aghori,
Aghora,
Aghori Baba. Okay.
Ah.
So yeah, this was the movie.
And also, it was a tale of identity crisis. Like he's trying to find who he is because he has lost memory.
Yeah, he has lost memory.
So it is a tale of that.
Yeah, even that too. And also the film, so the good thing about the film is like it deals with sexuality and and a lot other taboos in our culture. So I think this is a very good step in experimental Indian cinema. And we'll talk about Gaami, like, so I want to talk about like why Gaami is so significant.
Yeah.
Like, you won't see crowd-funded movies in India a lot.
And
Like,
especially
there
in
aren't
Telugu industry, not a lot of films are crowdfunded because mostly all the films that are meant for the massy and the crowd people. So crowdfunding that would be a very hard task to gather such amount of money.
And also there's a monopoly in Telugu cinema. Like it consists of 3 or 4 studios, like very big studios, and they churn out the big massive commercial movies.
Releases of the year, yeah.
So Gaami is a really significant movie because first of all it was a crowd-funded movie, and it was a debut film by the director, and also it took 7 years in the making, right?
Like they put the video 5 years ago for the crowdfunding.
So he did a show reel to get investors, and then he shot it over like 7 years. So yeah, that's why Gaami is really significant in Telugu film industry. Like that's why we are talking about it right now.
Like leaving aside the flaws, how journey of the film and how it was made and why it was made and why it holds a certain place in the industry right now.
Yeah.
So that is why we told about the significance of this film.
Yeah.
But then now coming into the experience of watching the film.
Yeah, go on.
Let's go on about that. So the film starts on a very promising note, like enters into the world and explains his like disease and everything to us and what he's trying to seek. Like the title says, he's a seeker and everything.
Oh, okay.
Gaami.
Like Gaami. So Gaami means seeker. Like the meaning of the word is seeker. It's a Sanskrit word.
So it's Sanskrit word, yeah. So and Gamyam is a journey. So this Gaami is on a Gamyam. He's on a journey to achieve something, which you'll understand once you watch the film. So the setup was really well, but what was happening is the film is kind of told in a very non-linear format, and also very you will feel that very individual narratives are produced in the single film. So in between the film, the scenes are cut and we are shown different characters in their own journey, and which takes you off the subject a little bit at times. Like the scenes feel disconnected a bit. You get a little disoriented by the third act, but like we understand the journey of the characters and everything, and even we have a decent twist at the end which we enjoy, and but the film felt a bit long for its story it had.
That I have to agree, because it starts off really well, but then
removing the janky VFX shots and some unbelievable action sequences. But then I continue.
Yeah, so it starts off really well, but then it's, as the story progresses, it loses its like all the steam it has. Okay, and the main concern was the edit. The editing could have been better, and also the use of music. At some scenes the music was really good, but then the music doesn't
Out
even
of place.
Yeah, it felt like I didn't feel the connect it was trying to get. Like that third act, like there's a scene in the third
Trying
act
to
where,
get
like,
on the icy mountain.
yeah, so that was it felt really flat. And coming to the acting part, everybody does a good job. Like the little child, the girl who plays the little child, Uma, she is really good. She did really well for her part. Like whatever time she had, I think she showed like she's a really.
She's the same kid from Ante Sundaranki, but I think she was cast before because this is 7 years old.
Yeah. And fun fact, there's a guy
From Tumbad as well. I think he's from Tumbad.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
He's from Tumbad. Yeah,
Asha.
You don't have to think he's from Tumbad.
This project started 7 years ago.
Yeah.
At that time, Tumbad was very hot. In 2018.
Yeah.
So it's not a big shock. Like this kind of film takes him into the project. Yeah.
And also the main problem was it could have been a really tight edit of like 1 hour 45 or 1 hour 50 minutes, and it could have made a really big blast. But then I think they tried to go that like usual Telugu way. Like, so usually Telugu cinema, so it has a graph. Okay, like Telugu film starts with a bang. Okay, like the hero entry and everything, it has a bang. Then there's a lull for like 30-40 minutes filled with exposition and all, and then there's another bang just before the interval. So this is the graph that usually followed by Telugu film. And I think the director faltered there because he even tried to mimic that graph. As a, like while we were watching the movie, like I told him like, yeah, now like I could predict what was going to happen. So I think that was the main drawback of the movie.
There was a song sequence in Varanasi. No, not in Varanasi, it was Prayagraj. So I felt the guerrilla style of filmmaking was commendable. Like it was a very commendable choice. But then I didn't feel, I couldn't find the reason why they did it. Like it didn't contribute much to the story, and I felt that way. Maybe it had a certain significance that didn't convey through the film at that point. And even the introduction of the other character, the female character that came in,
I'll partially agree, because that hero, like the female protagonist bit was like very shockingly shown. That was really bad. But the thing is, that gorilla scene works because at that juncture our protagonist is in a disarray. He's trying to like find ways to find the solution for his problems, right? And that shows, like that scene shows him in that vulnerable situation, because like there's a Mahakumbh Mela happening, okay? The person who has that problem, and like when you like shove him into a group of 100 people, like that, like, what you
not
feel
even
like
100, Kumbh Mela is of thousands and thousands of people.
So he obviously feels like left out, because he can't touch anyone because he's in danger, nor he can feel someone's touch because he's in danger.
That's why the black handprints on the video. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I felt that was good, but then the introduction of the female protagonist was shockingly bad.
And one very unpopular opinion I would say would be Vishwak Sen didn't fit the bill for me. I think his looks wise he carried it really well, but then when he spoke it out, he had a certain, what you say, a Hyderabadi nuances to his voice. Like it sounds sounds a little very urban for that kind of scenario, like a person who has been brought up in the city. So, and
I'll agree with that, because even like while watching the movie I was thinking, so he's from a small village, he or she, like they are from a small village, right? From a small village in Telangana or something, like where Devadasi stuff is happening, right? And he is put into the cell for like many years, like for 3-4 years, right? I think, and also he forgets where he's from, right?
Are you spoiling the film in the process?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm vaguely putting out
okay.
stuff. Okay,
Ah.
so he forgets what is right,
Ah.
and he's like born and brought up in a Agori ashram, right?
Ah.
So you talked about tonality, right?
Ah.
So the character's tonality broke every part of the way, like
True.
while the story broke, because
It's a very broken
neither we
character,
feel he's a Telugu character, nor like he could have had a like that Hindi tinge, like since he's from a Agori ashram, he could have had that like Hindi wala, like Dakkani they usually speak in
but
Hyderabad.
then films usually take that liberty,
yeah.
like where even in business or whatever Telugu film we watch, when the character is out of the state, every person is talking in Telugu, which is a liberty which is enjoyed. Yeah, nothing wrong about that. I'm not complaining about it.
To Telugu people in Mumbai, liberty की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. So I think we are quite like nitpicking, but then so okay, we'll macro perspective से बात करते हैं, ठीक है? So all in all, like what would you say about like 3-4 lines about the movie? Like would you recommend someone to watch it?
First time person who's watching Telugu films, I wouldn't ask him to watch this film or in any case, because even that has a different tone to it, and yeah, not this film obviously, because this is a bit long for a normal audience. It feels like unnecessarily stretched out. So
I'll give it like, see, I'll for the execution I'll give a point, because it was executed well, like from the budget they had, on the budget they had, they did it well, but but it could have been a better movie if they wrote 2 more drafts of it. Yeah, I agree. So what happened is, just because we're considering that this is a crowd-funded film and this has a low budget and they had executed well in whatever they got, if I'm oblivious to that fact, if I'm not a native Telugu person, I don't speak Telugu, and I'm just an outsider watching this film, it has come to a theatre, nearby theatre, and I'm watching it, so I would obviously spot the X marks that are for tracking that have been not done well, and all the janky VFX shots, and a little bit of problem in the story, like I kind of predicted in the start, like and I was just getting what you say, impatient, like how they would reveal it in the, and it took 2.5 hours for them to reveal it, and in the end, like, it was a very satisfying twist, and the conclusion was good. I wouldn't complain about it, and just little problem with the ending here and there, but then yeah. So about the predictability, I even predicted the jump scare. Yeah. that is the problem of the movie. Though it was a good story, the story was really good, but the writing could have been even more better. See, I know it's a crowd-funded movie, but like when you got a backing of a UV backed it, right? Like during the post, pre and post, they backed it, right? You could have done a few rewrites, like at least for the ending bits. You could have done a 2 or 3 rewrites, and it could have been a really well done movie. Not even in the writing department, even if the technical department went to VFX, now that you have been backed up by a good house, so you can go back and just redo a few scenes wherein there was a little attention to detail problem in that. Also, I would like to speak about the intermission which came in. Like in Telugu films, you expect, in Indian films, you expect there would be a proper intermission and there would be a certain like place for the intermission to be put. This was like done like a Hollywood film, not like the theatre person decides when the intermission should come, and it was cut abruptly. When I watch a crowdfunded film, so that way my expectations were at Manu. Like, even when he had a small budget, so he decided the locations accordingly, and he had done the story. It was so surreal, and it was kind of absurd for me because I couldn't able to understand whatever it was going on. If you guys are watching till now, I'd suggest you to watch Manu on Netflix and tell us what you understood from the film, because it has a very different interpretation for every person, because I was not able to understand it, but I was very pleased, like whatever was going on the screen with whatever story that was happening. And the production values, if you watch, like if you have watched or if you're gonna watch Manu and you have watched Gaami, you will easily differentiate between like the like both the movies are crowdfunded, but one is backed by a production house, but the production quality, like the design and everything, you will see that Manu different, like it is different, but then it nails the game. Like the production aspects are really well done. Everything from the production design to the cinematography to the music to even acting. Every person is distinct in that movie.
That is one movie I feel bad like people don't watch it. Like it's very down when you search it on Netflix that way. And also it doesn't you can't believe like it's a Telugu production in one way when you see it.
It doesn't look like it. But yeah, all in all, I'd say Gaami is a one-time watch. I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't recommend it to my friends who are like who usually don't watch Telugu movie. There are better Telugu movie.
A plethora of Telugu movies that you should start with. Yeah, but then if you are a Telugu viewer and you live in Andhra or Telangana, you should definitely go and give it a watch for sure, because it will give you a new experience for sure.
Also, like apart from the new experience, we should encourage
new talent, please.
It's a really big step towards like Telugu film industry. But if you are a movie watcher,
avid film goer
and like you watch movies, this is a quite underwhelming.
And if you frequently watch a lot of Hollywood and German and all the international world cinema, so you obviously would kind of guess it like it has a few points here and there similar to different films.
So far, we successfully avoided the word predestination.
So yeah, even Predestination, and if you go that far, even Awe is there a little bit close.
Yeah, I like Awe. Awe is another Telugu movie. Which is a really experimental movie.
It deals with a lot of taboos.
Yeah, it deals with sexuality as well, and I don't think so there are movies in Telugu film industry which talk about like taboos a lot, like sexuality or like mental issues or even Gaami kind of deals with deals with the politics of mental issue and everything. And also we are not talking about the female protagonist being married and all.
She was not a romantic interest anyway. Yeah. So that at point it surprised me, but how they dealt with the character, like it kind of disappointed me after that. So that's the reason I'm not speaking about it. Also, it would like spill out a little details about the film. So that's why I'm not speaking about it.
I mean, after the 2-hour mark, everything was
haywire, bro.
Haywire. Like you as a viewer kind of like, so a movie if you are watching, like recently I watched Dune 2, okay? So you are supposed to be immersed into that world, okay? And considering Gaami is like a adventure
film,
you should be like glued to the screen like till the end. But then after 2 hours, the like your viewing experience, you feel lethargic. Like I just want to like, come on man, like just get it to the end.
You're getting impatient.
खत्म कर दे यार, मुझे और नहीं देखना, ऐसा हो गया था.
वही problem वही था कि the editing pattern a little bit. Problem was that it was being cut in between of different stories. So whatever, just when I was getting a connect towards the character, they were cutting it out to a different story, different part of the. So I was getting taken away from the main story. Like all the three are main stories, but then I was getting taken away from the plot, little bit here and there. Also, I need to speak about the huskies that were shown instead of wolves. And also hyenas or Leo graded hyenas that were looking similar to what they showed in Leo.
The use of huskies was, I mean, come on, it's a crowd-funded movie. You won't like, people aren't like willingly trying to hire wolves.
But then obviously, they are doing CG, and when you are doing a very quick shot of representing wolves are there caged to catch you, so you could have gotten away with a CG or a silhouettes of the wolves and everything, or a shadowy figure that would have done. Like showing a husky is going too far, but it is what it is, bro. Like it got my attention, and I'm not able to erase it.
Till the interval, we were really excited, like the way the movie was going into the, like we were expecting some new stuff, like something's going to happen, and we were ready to be awed. But then like toward the when the third act starts, that's when the problem starts. So I feel
disheveled.
I feel it's a good one-time watch. And I think y'all should watch it when it comes on. OTTs?
or you should go to the theater. Nothing wrong in that. Like,
I don't think so.
paying-
We are gonna upload it like during its theatrical run.
oh yeah.
We are watching it 8 days after its release. So ये views थोड़े कम आ रहे हैं, मैं देख रहा हूँ. मुझे थोड़े views कम दिख रहे हैं. Now.
Chat hard but poor at views करके बोले कि ऐसा कुछ.
हाँ बोल देना.
నువ్వు త్వరగా హిమాలయాలకు బయలుదేరాలి.
Call is going to be third umpire. Look at those hands move.